Hour number 3 underway. 9 a.m. Monday, March the 2nd, right here on Jocks. College coaching conversation on maybe who could, who would be at their school in 2030. Who could, who would potentially move to the NFL. The name I was looking for from you guys there was Lane Kiffin.
No. Yeah, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I just don't see that happening again.
Well, it was stated move the meter as far as sell tickets, energize fan base. That's why I went to Lane Kiffin right there. I know the complications. I know the history, but
I think he's looked at differently by NFL fans than he is by college fans.
I have zero doubt about that, but I still also think, what is there a larger population of, even inside the NFL fan base? Fringe fans or super diehards? And I think even the fringe fans would probably be like, oh, yeah, that's that Lane Kiffin guy. This dude call plays. He moved the ball.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So I think with them, he probably would still move the meter with that portion of the fan base.
Perhaps.
I don't know if Lane even wants that right now.
No, he wants to be the coach at LSU.
Right now.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know in 2030 where he's going to want to be, what he's going to want to do.
2030 is such a long time.
I want to ask you guys a question about LSU quickly, because over the weekend I had a couple people asking me about them.
Oh boy!
And got into a little bit of a conversation about LSU
/ argument.
No, not an argument at all. But I do think that there's a part of LSU that is not where it should be right now. First off, flu season here. Make your home healthier with Trane's Clean Effects Home Air Cleaner. Removes up to 99.9% of airborne particles, including those that cause virus. 100 times more effective than standard air filters. 8 times more effective than HEPA room filters. Find a dealer near you at Trane.com. It's hard to stop a train. What should the realistic expectation be this season? Because I'm going to tell you, I'm beginning to think that the expectation largely, publicly, is deep playoff run or bust. And going back to exactly what we've talked about with people not really understanding today's college football, what the expectations should be, what's good, what's bad, what's not that good, what is really good. That ain't going to work at LSU this year, I don't think. All of a sudden, Sam Leavitt is God's gift to football. All of a sudden, for some, it doesn't even matter who he plays at quarterback. They're going to go win.
He is good. Sam Leavitt's
good. I love Sam Leavitt. Greg, he's not going through spring ball.
If you don't like him, that's
he's not healthy right now. He's not healthy.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, well, you put him out there today, he's not going to be able to move.
Not well.
Literally.
Not well.
Like,
you know what that tells me?
He's going to be hobbit. I don't know what your how you drive an out route off one leg would be, but we'd find out from Sam if that were the case.
If I'm protected, I can get it out there.
Oh, boy. Joe Moore Ward.
Sidearm that thing.
I'll get it out there.
Watch me slang it.
I'll go out there and sit down on my behind and throw strikes.
We don't know if the offensive line is just going to work. I don't think they're crazy dynamic at running back.
They haven't been.
Well, that's because they haven't chosen to run the football.
That is part of it. I will allow that. There has been an obscene decision to deny running backs opportunities to take handoffs. And 90% of the time when they did, it was out of the same formation, the same direction. So that will actually help. Even things up just a little bit will help. And Lane can do that. He is good enough to pull that off.
Answer me this, though. Like, until this year, they've always, or until last year, excuse me, not in 2024. Until last year, they've always had a pretty good running back.
Yeah.
I feel like. Maybe not like a game changer or whatever, but they had a game changer last year. They had a game changer for 2 years ago. Like, they've had some good backs. That's been an underappreciated position in general for Lane Kiffin's offense in the past, in my opinion. Now,
they have had some of the better backs that we will not continuing talking about in college football, maybe forever, of any team. Like, Jerrion Ealy could freaking go.
He was a good player.
And when was the last time you heard his name mentioned?
It's been a while.
I don't know, but I've heard Judkins. I've heard Lacey.
Those two were friggin' dudes also.
Dudes.
Like, big time.
Dudes.
Big time players. They have had really good backs. I mean, even when they had to settle on, quote fingers, Henry Parrish, who could get it.
He was okay.
But he had juice.
That year they did not have the backs that he's
traditionally had. But even the fallback
had.
plans of like a Zach Evans was pretty good. Snoop Connor was pretty good. Like guys that the bottom half of the SEC would love to have. So, yeah, he has had good backs for a while. And I do think Harlem Berry's super talented. I think he might be a little better in this system, by the way. And Caden Durham's got skill. And we've seen him run people over, run away from people, spin move people. So
I think he's good. I don't know if he's like the level. He's a little bit of a victim of the LSU standard, at running back. Like if you put him at, say, Kentucky, people are like, oh man, Caden Durham's the man.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You put him at LSU, he's like, oh, he's no Fournette. It's like, okay, well, who is? You know what I mean? Like, that's a hard spot to be in. So I think they have a really nice 1-2 punch at running back.
What do you think about
I think
the
Harlem
receivers?
Berry's dude. Love the wideouts.
Trey Green is going to be so good for him.
He's going to be excellent in this style of attack.
He's going to know exactly how to use him, exactly how to move him, exactly how to line him up.
Big fan.
Eugene Wilson has legit skill. He can play if he's healthy. He's got to be healthy. So they got some guys. Can they block them up, and can the quarterback stay healthy?
Yeah.
Defensively, I don't think the personnel is as good as last year. I think they're still probably going to have a little bit of a D-line depth problem. Princewell, I think, is a decent ad. Daughtery is an okay ad.
But Daughtery on another guy that will be held to a somewhat unreachable standard is Daughtery. Like, Whit Weeks is a dude, right? Like, we know he's big time. And I feel like the middle linebacker spot at LSU is held to a different standard. It's like, whoever's that guy is that guy. How many great middle linebackers has LSU had in the last 15 years?
I actually don't think as many as you're thinking. I think it's more of the LSU's defense usually has that playmaker.
An eraser.
And it could be Tyrann Mathieu. It could be Barkevius Mingo. It could be Glenn Dorsey. I actually think it's a rotational spot of they usually have that dude that no one can do anything about. And they've had some great inside linebackers, yes, and sometimes it's been that position. But I just think they always have that guy that you're like, just stay away from him. Or if you're not careful, he takes the game over. And so maybe, like, I think Whit Weeks can be that guy, by the way.
Yes.
I think Whit Weeks is a top 10 playmaker in the SEC,
He's
offense or defense. And I don't think it's unfortunate for him. Like Daughtery, I'm going to be interested to see because I probably shouldn't share a lot of the stuff that was shared. And I'm sure you got some of it shared before the bowl game also. But like the whole green dot thing and it's that I don't know how. I think he may fit better in this where it's like see ball, get ball, see A gap, attack A gap. Like just go.
Yes.
Just go get the ball. He actually may be better in this.
Correct. It's a very complex defense that he was running at Ole Miss. And because they had to play against tempo, teams slowed it down. And they would break the huddle with under 15, and he had to communicate a lot of the fits. And they frankly didn't have the depth defensively. He had to play too many snaps. It was hard. I mean, it was a hard situation. So I do think he's got a chance to be better. We're on the same page there. However, big however, capital H, is this LSU defense going to be as disruptive as they've been in the past? Like, they need to be disruptive. They have to create chaos. I do not think they will be as good in the secondary as they were last year.
Okay, so stop right there because my first question to you, when you asked that question, and I was going to turn it to you because I want your opinion first, is you got to tell me how good the secondary is going to be first.
It starts there.
I think that is ultimately indicative of how disruptive that defense can be. Because if Blake can play man and get away, he'll probably tell you if I can get away with it 30% of the time, we'll be okay.
Yes.
But if he doesn't have confidence in the secondary, being able to just hold up, he can't do all the other stuff.
No.
And if that's what you're telling me about that, then no, they won't be as disruptive as last year.
It's one of those weird groups. It's not normal. It's not normal when you start defensively back to front, but I do think that this is one of those. I do think this is one of those defensive schemes where it really starts in the secondary and works its way up.
Has to. You have to.
Because frankly, the scheme is going to be good. Like, you don't have to have freakish level game wreckers.
How many times did LSU get pressure with some dude out wide that was like the fourth blitzer, but nobody saw him coming, and all of a sudden he either forces an incompletion, gets a hit on the quarterback, whatever that was?
A ton.
A ton.
A ton.
So it's not just Harold Perkins beating a left tackle over and over and over and over and over again.
Yes.
You know, I mean, this is not Quinnen Williams one-on-one with a center, and there's nothing anybody can do about it.
Yes. Take your medicine and move on.
However,
Don't fumble.
That being said, who was the best football player on that defense last year?
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
I'm daring.
I know what you want me to say. I'm not answering it. The best football player on that defense was A.J. Halsey.
Yep, 100%. And
you
then
wanted me to say Harold Perkins.
No, I did not.
Yeah, you did. I know you.
Okay, who was the best NFL talent on that defense?
Mansour Delane,
Okay,
corner.
so your two best players basically
Yes.
were secondary guys.
Okay, but you wanted me to say Harold Perkins.
You're dumb.
Oh, look
I would never put that on anyone.
Oh,
by
look
the
how
way.
green dot.
Yeah, that too.
Look how green.
Speaking of green dot situations.
Oh, look how versatile.
And then, would you agree with me that the interior of that D line far exceeded the expectation of
I
itself
thought they were
last
pretty
year?
good up front.
And we sat here. Remember what Brian Kelly said in the spring and in fall camp? We have like 2 D tackles that are going to play.
Maybe.
We might have to play
We
with
have
one.
we have 1.5 D tackles.
We might play a 1-8 defense. Like they didn't have any. And
Well,
all of a
the year
sudden, it's like you're
before-
watching this Bernard Gooden dude, and you're like, he's having a hell of a year.
Really good.
Jacoby and Gilroy having a really good year. And
Really
so Jack Pyburn did some good things for him. Patrick Payton, still probably not to what he could have been, but gave him some good reps. Like, now you're telling me all that's gone? No, I don't think they can be as disruptive as last year. But they're probably going to get some first downs this year.
Wow.
They will probably not set an LSU record of consecutive plays not handing the football off this year. So they won't need to be as disruptive
Who
as they
keeps
were
that
every
record?
year. The last 2 LSU offenses?
Okay, but who's keeping that stat?
I'm not sure, but I found it.
I found it.
ESPN Stats and Info.
I found
Right.
it. Slash
I double
made
checked
up.
it with Stats and Info, and
Yes.
they said it was accurate. So,
Correct.
yeah. That's not going to happen this year.
No, it's not.
They're
I
gonna
don't
move
see
the
how
ball.
it could.
So what's the like absolute ceiling and floor for LSU in 26?
They could win the national championship.
Absolutely, they can.
And they could go 7-5. But then again, tell me a team in the SEC, maybe not the ceiling, but tell me a team whose floor isn't 500
Georgia,
or worse.
Georgia cannot go 7-5. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Okay,
They
hang on a
cannot.
second.
They cannot.
Okay, all right, let's play
Oh,
that
boy.
game. You want to play that game?
I'm here
I'll
to play
play
it.
that game.
Let's line it
I'll
up.
play that game. Pull up Georgia
Shake the dice.
2024.
Don't feel like that was that long ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Okay.
Pull it up. I'm going to give you 30 seconds because I know you take a little while and you
I'm
have,
good.
you know,
I've
dial
got
up
it
internet.
right now. I have it in front
I
of
know
me.
you have AOL and you got to connect online and
Yep.
all this other stuff.
My boy said, "Ayo."
All right, so let's go back. That version of the Georgia Bulldogs in 2024 went 10-2
Yep.
in the regular season.
Mhm.
They won an 8 overtime thriller against Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
If not for a potential targeting, it might have been a different outcome. Okay, so now you're at 9-3. They call targeting. Maybe that outcome's different. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
What are you, a Nebraska fan now?
Oh gosh,
The
here we go.
almost wins. The almost losses.
They were outplayed on the road at Kentucky in week 3 that year. Now you're at 8-4. They were
Okay.
flat out outplayed. And then you could make a decent case that if Lagway doesn't get hurt in the Florida game, they could have lost that game. They were losing at the time. So that's 5 losses on 2024. Let's go to 2025. And by the way, I know that the ball has to bounce a different direction, but guess what? That's kind of what happens in the modern era of college football. All right, last year they go 11-1.
Mhm.
All right, correct.
Mhm.
Same page.
Yep.
Yep.
Similar scenario. You have a drop, an underthrown deep ball drop by Florida. They catch that ball. There's a very strong possibility they win that game.
Yep.
So now you're up to 2 losses. Ole Miss game, they're down 9 entering the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That's 3 losses. Auburn's up 17-0 if Jackson Arnold does not fumble on a quarterback sneak into the end zone.
If
now
you
we're
think
at 4
that team
losses.
was holding on to beat them, then we should probably stop doing this show.
17-0 on the road.
If you think that team was holding on to beat a
get
Kirby
it.
Smart coach team, we should probably stop doing this show.
on the road. 17-0 on the road. I'm not saying they would have won. I'm just saying
It was
that
Hugh Freeze's Auburn.
It was dicey. It was dicey. And that Auburn team was a bit of a front-running bunch. Had they scored and gone up 17-0, might have looked a little different against that defense. Pretty sporty group.
You're discounting ways that you could find to lose a game.
I understand that. Let's add one more. Tennessee. That's 5.
Now,
these are all the close
Allow me
calls.
to flip it around.
All the close
and
calls
the
have to go the other
24-21
direction.
loss to Alabama, where you had to pull like 3 fourth-down plays out of your ass to actually win
Why
that
are you
game.
saying y'all?
Let's go to the Ole Miss game where Trinidad Chambliss is literally doing cartwheels in the backfield before he's completing first downs late in that game. And for some reason, you had whatever you were doing on your punt teams off and on the field for that game, trying to figure something out. The losses could also gone the other way.
I get it. That's what I'm saying. We're talking worst case scenario. Worst case scenario here, every bounce goes against you.
That's Kirby Smart coaching Georgia. That is not the worst case scenario, or we would have seen it.
If you don't think that Georgia or any team for that matter could finish 7-5,
I'm going to tell you right now, into this microphone, into this camera on YouTube, the Georgia Bulldogs cannot go 7-5.
I think
it cannot happen.
I think of all the teams in the SEC, they are the least likely by a decent sized margin to go 7-5. Texas alongside them. Those two teams, they can't finish worse than 9-3. They're just rosters are too good. They're too well coached. They're too solid. I just think in a world in which you have an injury, you have a ball bounce the other way, you lose a guy or two here or there, the O-line struggles, like you start having
to lose a roster.
These things start snowballing.
Greg, Tennessee State, Western Kentucky, at Arkansas, Oklahoma, Vandy, at Bama,
Oklahoma
Auburn,
will be a good
Florida, at Ole Miss, Missouri, at South Carolina, and Georgia Tech.
You and I both know the Oklahoma game will be a good game. The at Alabama game will be a tough game. Florida, neutral site, relatively speaking, even though it's in Atlanta, will be a tough game.
Yep.
At Ole Miss will be a tough game. Missouri's played them well in the past. I don't think Missouri's going to be quite the team they were in the past. I have a very hard time envisioning this team having a tough year. I love Georgia every year.
You're right about some of the potential complications. Like at South Carolina, November 21st. If they're healthy, that can be a complicated game because you have guys that can take the game over.
Yeah.
But you also have a different quarterback at Georgia Tech. You have a different head coach at Auburn. You have a different non-generational quarterback at Vanderbilt. How many teams on this roster are losing generational quarterbacks?
I didn't bring up Vanderbilt.
Vandy lost theirs. Arkansas lost theirs. Georgia Tech lost theirs. I mean, hell, that's 3 all-time players at quarterback on teams that you're facing that are gone. And I don't know what Zappy or Bailey or whatever Western Kentucky had last year. They're probably not going to be as good as they were then. So it is John Mateer throwing the ball to his own team.
That helps when he does.
And by the way,
you and I
only
both
because
know.
Alabama has been so great at quarterback for so long are we not classifying Ty Simpson as a generational quarterback. Because if he'd have just finished playing at Arkansas, he'd have been a generational quarterback also. And he's moving on. So
yeah, but look how stars. I mean, I'm just telling you, I don't think it's happening.
I know you don't think. I'm telling you it cannot happen.
Every team's floor is lower than it's ever been.
There's a better chance Stephen Pearl makes a run to the Final Four than Georgia only wins 7 games.
I agree with that. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
I'm just saying all the floors are lower. So when it's not even so much about
it's
Georgia,
just not that low.
The original conversation was centering around LSU's floor and their ceiling. The floors for everybody are a lot lower than they used to be. All of a sudden, Gunnar Stockton gets hurt. What happens?
They hand the ball off 50 times a game, and their defense plays great. And they still win 9.
You're right.
I mean, that's it. That's all.
Okay.
They just won't look pretty.
I hope.
That's what they are now.
Yes. It's definitely what they are now.
It'd be different if you were talking about that from an Ole Miss perspective or a South Carolina
I
perspective,
get it.
but
I think the edge that Georgia plays with gives them an advantage almost weekly. So you don't
also
need to
you
convince me
were
of this.
telling us Puglisi had a chance to win the job last year.
I like Puglisi.
Okay, so maybe he comes in as better than Gunnar Stockton.
Oh, here we go.
I don't know, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, Puglisi will definitely be the same type of edge, physical grinder that Gunnar Stockton is. He's like my favorite player ever.
But I do know that they have Nate Frazier in the backfield.
Yes.
I do know that they have most of their O-line back. I do know they got London Humphreys, Taylor and company still catching footballs.
Yes.
So I think they will be fine.
I'm not worried about them. I'm not sitting here concerned about Georgia. I think they're a top 2 team in the SEC at worst.
I think I'll say this too. I think their front is going to be maybe not. I'm not including linebacker in this right now. I think the front is going to be closer to what we're used to seeing Georgia have than what it's been in the last probably 3 years.
I hope.
Because it's more guys coming back. Like Jordan Hall, great reps last year. Elijah Griffin's going to be a dude.
Yes.
Xavier McLeod had some really good reps last year, played some. Josh Horton played some last year. And even when Chris Cole is up on the line of scrimmage, like he can be a problem up there. You know, I love Gabe Harris. He's limited, but I love the way he plays, what he does, the different things. Like I think that front's going to be closer at the line of scrimmage than it's been in probably the last 3 years. They're going to be more problematic up front than they have been. Now, I think Raylan Wilson's great. Travis Johnson's done some good things. They might not be altogether as good at linebacker, but the actual front, I think, is going to be more dangerous than we've seen in probably 3-4 years. I haven't talked about Georgia like this in a while, but I'm just telling you. And part of it is actually part of what I'm saying is what you're saying. Is it's harder for everybody else to even try to keep up. But they ain't going backwards. They're not.
No.
They're not going backwards. We didn't talk about KJ Bolden yet. He's back. Just forget about him. Don't worry about him. He'll, no big deal. Lucky Lawson's back at tight end. Whatever. He's only played for 5 years.
I love how Cole likes to spin it as if we're all doubting Georgia. No one's doubting Georgia.
You said they could win 7.
Yeah,
I'm saying that every team's floor is lower.
I'm saying not every team's floor is that low.
Fair enough.
Ohio State would be another one. They can't win 7. They literally cannot.
I'm not using Ohio State because the Big Ten's different. You have 8 bottom feeders in an 18-team league.
If you took Michigan's former head coach and replaced him with Kirby today, they're not winning 7. Maybe 8, but not 7.
Sharon Moore?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm trying to think.
Not Harbaugh. No, they'd be fine. Hell, they might go undefeated with Harbaugh.
Second, I'm so confused.
I'm just telling you, that floor is not there. It isn't.
You don't need to convince me of Georgia being good. I'm on the same page.
Okay. Now that we're there, we will take a break and be back with more next. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Appreciate you guys tuning in. 800-239-9569, 800-239-WJOX. Who maybe has the biggest gap between their ceiling, their floor of SEC football teams? We'll discuss that tomorrow. Teams that we think have a chance to maybe win it all, but also could go 500. Who has the biggest differential there between SEC teams? We'll table that one for tomorrow. A lot more to get to today. We've obviously got college basketball to get to today. We haven't spent a lot of time on that. Richard Hendricks will be with us in our next segment, so we'll discuss that there. First, Greg, tell our listeners about Polar Bear Services.
Well, I've been using Wes and the guys for a long time. They're so good, and I always appreciate the experience I get when they come out to our house. The thing I love most is they can do so many things around the house. That's what's so great about them. Anything goes wrong, I start by calling Polar Bear Services, and I just ask Weston point blank, hey, man, can you fix it? The answer's always been yes. And right now, we know that the hot months are coming. We know it's only a matter of time. So make sure you get out in front of it with a whole home checkup on your HVAC system as we turn towards those summer months. And we know here in the spring, we'll have some days in which it's the heat's running at night. You have the AC running during the day. Kind of put your system to the test. So make sure that your system is up to the test by getting a whole home checkup from Polar Bear Services. They can also do electrical work. They can do plumbing. They also, here in the stormy season, they do whole home generator install, so you're not in a bind when the power goes out. Serving all over Alabama. So remember, if you have a problem with your electrical, plumbing, heat, or air, just pick up the phone and call the Bear. It's 205-497-BEAR. It's 497-BEAR.
All right, so we'll table that conversation for tomorrow. Alabama gets a big win over the weekend. Auburn, tough loss over the weekend. We'll discuss it all with Richard Hendricks next, right here on Jocks. Welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Switch the conversation to some college basketball. Richard Hendricks joins us weekly thanks to our friends at Mystery Breaks. If you're looking for college football cards, MLB cards, it's Topps Museum. The National Treasures College Footballs, you can go to Fanatics Live right now, fanaticslive.com. Go to Mystery Breaks, get involved in a break today, and get those going. They got Mahomes Authentic coming out again later this week where you can get that Blitz cash back for Fanatics at Mystery Breaks. Richard Hendricks with us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Not sure what you make of Alabama's win against Tennessee, but if you're looking for grit, if you're looking for mental toughness, intestinal fortitude, I feel like your confidence level in all of those had to skyrocketed for a team that only led for 24 seconds and is able to go to Rocky Top and get a win, Richard.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And also just some good things going their way. You know, look at LeBaron Fallon and what happened in the last 24 or 30 seconds in the last game that they had against Tennessee last year. He atoned his basketball sins and was able to bounce back with all the big plays in the clutch this year after last year, but he wasn't able to close it out. But I'm telling you, when you look at the box score, I don't understand how Alabama won this game, but they did an outstanding job to somehow, some way fight and come up with the victory.
It was wild. What do you think changed? Because it was ugly early. I mean, it was disjointed. And look, Tennessee's a tough matchup. They're physical. They're long. They're big. They do a really good job. Rick Barnes is an amazing coach. So how is it that they were able to kind of flip the script there at the end?
I mean, I really can't even tell you. I mean, when you really look at it and you talk about a team that shoots, 22 more field goal attempts than you, they dominate you on the offensive rebounds and the total rebounds. They get just as many blocks. They have more assists, less turnovers. And you say, how did you lose this game? And really, it just boils down to, they were not able to capitalize and get to the free throw line and make a lot of their layups on those offensive rebounds. Alabama had Latrell Wrightson played an outstanding game, 6 for 9 from three-point shooting, but just able to make all of the clutch plays down the stretch. And I think when the momentum started to switch to Alabama in the last couple minutes, I think they could feel that they had a chance to win. And I can't talk about it enough. LeBaron Fallon, understanding he had that mismatch after the timeout that was called, and then taking J.P. Estrella one-on-one, and he knew he was going to win the game. I mean, that was must-see TV. And, it really elevated him to be back in the conversation for the SEC Player of the Year and even get some All-American consideration.
Richard Hendricks, thanks to our friends at Mystery Breaks. They've got Topps Museum and Topps Series 1 going right now on Fanatics Live if you want to go get into that break over at Mystery Breaks, fanaticslive.com. Fifth win when trailing by 10 or more points this year for Alabama. Fifth blown lead with a lead of 10 or more points for Tennessee. What does that do in your mind for both of those teams heading into the postseason?
Well, I think they're both really good teams, but I think if you a person who follows both of those things, I thought Jimmy Dykes said something that was something I agree with. He said both of these programs are married to their philosophies. And Alabama's going to get it done by shooting a lot of threes early in offense. They're not going to throw it in the low post. But Tennessee's the exact same way in the other side, that they're just going to try to dominate with strong defense, not necessarily have a flowing offense. They want to win these games in the 70s and just play a bunch of bully ball. And when they lose those particular games, you look at it and say, we need more offense. Now, they did not have Nate Ament in the second half, or for most of that game, as he kind of hobbled with an injury. But Tennessee's going to have to figure out a way to, in those late games, how do you close it out, which has been something they've been struggling with all season long, but also have bigger offensive production outputs. They really need it in these points of the season when you can't lean on the defense to close out games. You're going to have some buckets and play with a little bit more flow, but they are still a dangerous team with their physicality. I don't know if anyone wants to play them.
What about in the tournament, though? Can they score enough? Can they be good enough offensively to make a tournament run?
Most definitely. I think first and foremost, tournament play is always about matchups. And then when you do lean on your defensive identity, then you always give yourself a chance. I think we can always try to say we're going to lighten things up, let Jacoby Gillespie go at it a little bit when he has the ball and be a little bit more creative, tell Nate Ament to be a little bit more aggressive offensively, and that can open up some things. But I do think they have a really successful blueprint when you start on the defensive end.
Richard Hendricks joining us on the Higginbotham hotline. Thanks to our friends at Mystery Breaks. I'm also interested in your opinion on Florida because they look like they're sort of trending towards being one of the dominant teams in college basketball. I'm not going to ask you about Duke and if that's where they are, because I think everyone would agree that if you had to pick a number one team in the country right now, they would probably be it. But how close is Florida to the other 2-3 teams we've talked about at the top of college basketball this year? Probably Duke, Michigan, Arizona.
Oh, they're right there. I mean, this is a team that, you know, many and everyone had picked to be the preseason conference champion. Here they are, have already closed out the deal. But, I mean, that front line, you can't speak about it enough. And the thing about them is it's not like they're just sitting around playing bully ball. They have so much basketball skill. And what I mean by that is they understand how to play the game with each other, sharing the ball in the high-low. They all run their lanes extremely well. They can finish around the basket, and they can even shoot shots on the outside. I was asked recently, who do I pick in the SEC tournament to win? Was I pick Florida or did I pick the field? And I picked Florida because I just look at the confidence in which they play. Todd Golden making the adjustments they need them, and the guards are starting to pick up their offensive production. So they're a dangerous team, and they're a legitimate threat to win the whole thing again.
They are unbelievable. I think you could make a case they're maybe as good as last year, maybe better than last year. What's the gap that exists between them and Duke in your eyes?
Well, I think when it comes to that, they're right there on the same level. Now, John Shire obviously had a really good team last year that I think should have won it with Cooper Flagg and Malawach and that crew and Con Knipple. They were able to be upset by Houston in the last game. But I tell you, Duke's a strong team. They're playing good basketball right now. But I would be concerned about Florida if I'm other teams, because even though they've won the national championship and you don't have the same backcourt that they had last year, they're a dangerous team because they've been flying under the radar. The entire SEC has been flying under the radar from the standpoint of people considering them national championship contenders. And it starts with Florida, and I think you can compare them with Duke, Michigan, Arizona, and the other elite teams, particularly because they are playing their best basketball right now at this time of the season.
Richard Hendricks joining us on the Higginbotham hotline. He's with us every Monday thanks to our friends at Mystery Breaks. Auburn goes down over the weekend to Ole Miss. This was, I don't know another way to describe it. It was ugly. Auburn had won 10 straight, hadn't lost to Ole Miss since February 6, 2021. Snaps a 10-game conference losing streak for Ole Miss. 14 turnovers by Auburn in this game. I mean, do you put a fork in them now for this season, Richard?
He almost about to put a fork in them. I mean, you're going to have to definitely win the last 2 games of this regular season and then win a couple games in the SEC tournament to see if you can improve the resume. I mean, you're talking about a team that is almost a game over 500, and you still in conversation to be on the bubble to be in the NCAA tournament. I think it's a long shot for them. This was a massive opportunity that they missed to win this game against Ole Miss at home. That's one you cannot drop. And, Stephen Pearl, he's had a big challenge this year in his first year. He's coming in with a tough strength of schedule that he's playing against, and then he's also having new players in a situation he's not familiar with. But at the same time, you got to figure out a way to motivate these guys, how to run your team when it comes to some of the disciplinary things that have led to some losses, and then figure out a way to get a win. But like I would say to any team, they know their team more than anyone else. The head coaches do. And you still have an opportunity. Motivate them right now and see if you can figure out a way to get it done.
Richard, we always appreciate the time. Always great stuff talking college hoops with us. Thanks for doing it again. We'll catch up soon.
Thank you, guys. Enjoyed it.
All right, there you go. Richard Hendricks on the Higginbotham hotline. Thanks to Mystery Breaks. If you're trying to get back into the hobby, want to get into car breaks, Mystery Breaks today on Fanatics Live going to have Topps Tennis Chrome. They got Mahomes Authentic coming up. That's on March the 28th, by the way. National Treasures and Prism Draft coming up Wednesday. Prism Football, Bowman Baseball today. Go check out Mystery Breaks at mysterybreaks.com. Also on Whatnot and eBay Live as well. You can follow them on Instagram at Mystery Breaks. So we'll get to a break, table the college basketball discussion, finish up a little bit of college football news, and get to a bad box score, maybe even more than one of the day next right here on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. It is 9:45, Monday, March the 2nd, right here on Jocks. Appreciate Richard Hendricks stopping by. Ralph Russo, obviously, with us as well as Paul Feinbaum. You can go get those podcasts, jocksfm.com. In the App Store, download the Jocks app. You can always go back and listen to it there. When injuries try to take you out of the game, trust the sports medicine team relied on to keep the Auburn Tigers, the Alabama Crimson Tide, and professional athletes nationwide competing at the highest level. I've been a patient at Andrews Sports Medicine for decades. Back when I played at Auburn, Dr. James Andrews took care of me, and to this day, Andrews Sports Medicine, the only place I trust for my family and friends. Andrews Sports Medicine team of physicians deliver elite care for acute and overuse injuries and those nagging chronic orthopedic issues. Bring that same championship-level expertise to athletes and families across Alabama. If you're injured, skip the ER and urgent care. Go directly to the team of experts at Andrews Sports Medicine. Get back to your sport activity or passion. Schedule your appointment today at andrewsportsmedicine.com. Andrews Sports Medicine, choose victory over injury. We'll get to a bad box score of the day here in just a moment. Tomorrow, we'll go into biggest gap between ceiling and floor of SEC teams. USC beginning spring practice today, GMAC. Your biggest thought, biggest maybe question you like answered for the Trojans during spring ball?
New defensive coordinator, new defensive identity. That's pretty much it. And I like the hire. Just in general, when I think Gary Patterson, if I think of a defense that's going to have a chin, a defense that's going to have some oomph. Like I think they're going to have, I'm sure it's going to be an arrangement where it's head coach of the defense versus head coach of the team / offense. You know what I mean? So I think that makes sense. My big question is Gary Patterson's been out for a little bit. There's not that he hasn't been dialed in, but it's been a little while.
Sure.
So I am a little curious to see how that's going to all work out.
All right. We'll get to our bad box score in just a moment. When we move to that, I do believe you may classify one of today's as an all-timer. But if you're looking to move out of your house, Greg, who should you call?
It would be Crocker Moving Services. They're a local company owned by an Iraq War veteran, Eric Crocker. Crocker believes in hiring movers you can trust to complete full background checks and run drug tests on every single employee. These are good guys. And you can trust them in your home. Whether your whole home packed to move, your company headquarters moved across country, or you just want them to come rearrange your living room, these guys got you covered. They also do deliveries for furniture that you've purchased and need to get to your home. So call them online today for a free quote. The website's crockermovingservices.com. That's crockermovingservices.com. Support your veterans by choosing Crocker Moving Services for your next move.
All right, let's get to our bad box scores of the day.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
Intentional grounding, offense number 7. It's a 10-yard penalty. I'm talking to America here, excuse me.
That's the game.
There's a team that we have sort of ignored in bad box score of the day during the early portions of their season. And because we've done that, there may be more than one of their individual scores that need to be revisited. One was from late last week that we did not get to, that we will start with. And that would be your Alabama State
Hornets.
Visiting the Oklahoma
Sooners,
who are now 14-2. And last week they took down Alabama State in softball 32-0.
Oh, no. Sooners are really good.
Yeah.
They also batted 4 times in the game.
Meaning they only got to the order 4 times?
They only came to bat in 4 innings. They were out hit 23-4, the Hornets were.
Hey, there's 4.
In this game.
No hit.
You know what? If that's what you're looking for, that's yes. Your at-bats were 36-17. 7 doubles in the game. No triples, 6 home runs for Oklahoma. They were also walked 12 times.
Okay. Well,
When you're hitting that well, that does not what you're looking for there.
It's unfortunate.
Yes, and only 1 strikeout recorded by Alabama State pitchers.
Only one.
That was the
Single.
For the Sooner lady.
Correct.
Walk back to the dugout for that.
Not fun.
Really?
But let me just go to a couple others. Earlier this season, the Oklahoma Lady Sooners knocked off Montana in 5 innings, 17-0.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota 12-2. Idaho State 10-1. In a game on February the 15th, they played the UTEP
Miners.
They took that game in 5 innings, 34-0.
Okay.
We're digging for something.
They need a tougher non-con schedule.
Well, it wasn't hits for UTEP because they were out hit 25-3 in that game.
All right.
Okay.
They're putting the bat on the ball.
That's all you need to do. Hit it hard somewhere.
Yeah.
Get more, score more.
Oklahoma batters in that game struck out once.
They see there's always one.
Is it the same person?
That's a fair question that I did not do my due diligence on, but maybe need to next time. They also hit 6 home runs in that game.
Ah,
Okay.
got him.
Sharice,
Like-
get
like-
one hit. Just
Like
one
power's
hit.
not a problem for this team.
No.
They also knocked off Duke 11-1 earlier this year. They knocked off Washington 15-2 earlier this year.
Well, they hadn't been tested.
They ain't playing nobody.
They ain't play. Yeah. Guess
Yeah.
who?
In the tournament that they played Alabama State in that I referenced a little bit earlier, that they won the game 32-0. 2 games later, they beat Alabama State 23-3 in 5 innings.
Closer.
And 2 games after that, they beat Alabama State 29-6 in
Okay.
5 innings.
Closer.
Who all was in this
That
tournament?
wasn't closer.
Sam Houston State, who they beat 10-2. Southeastern Louisiana, who they beat 9-1.
Oh, okay.
And
All right.
that was it.
All right.
Doesn't sound like anybody on Oklahoma's level.
No.
No,
No.
no, it doesn't.
Didn't run rule Southeast Louisiana, so you got to
Fair.
at least take that.
Yeah.
They've got North Texas in Denton tomorrow at 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus.
Okay.
Let's
All right.
go.
So
Call it right now. Run rule or yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
it's on the
Lock.
road. So I don't know if that's necessarily a hitter's park. So
Absolutely
maybe not.
lock.
Maybe it's an absolute lock that they will run rule them.
Yes.
I don't know where's North Texas in softball right now. I have no idea.
Denton. That's all I got.
They are. See if I can pull that up real quick. Just kind of where their softball team is. Get an idea what they're going to be dealing with. They're 10 and 12.
Mm.
10 and 12.
Yeah, I'm going to
All
lean.
right.
I mean, that's a pretty good hitting percentage. That's
No,
very.
it's their overall.
Oh, so
record.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're cooked. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Greg. And Texas Tech got them 10-2.
It's not a run rule.
What's the defending
it's-
national champion?
It's not, but it's also. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. East Texas A&M got them 14-4.
Ah,
That's rivalry.
rivalry.
Yeah.
A bit of yes.
Definitely.
If you're tired of the rivals across the street and looking for a new home, Gusty Goulis and the Gusty Goulis Group can help you with that. You probably ask why. Well, they've helped 3,000 home buyers and sellers in the greater Birmingham area. Since 2012, Gusty Goulis Group recognized both nationally and locally as Greater Birmingham, Alabama's #1 team in homes sold. You can trust Gusty's aggressive and proven selling system. Over 850 5-star Google reviews. Call 205-542-1996. It's 205-542-1996 today. Or just visit GustyGoulisGroup.com or call 205-542-1996. Gusty Goulis Group can help you. They've helped members of my family, brokered by eXp Realty. Gusty Goulis Group for all your real estate needs in Central Alabama. All right, so we've talked spring practices beginning this week. South Carolina will get going on Wednesday. New offense for Lenore Sellers. I hear good things about it so far. You think it's a good fit for him?
I love the fit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you could find a better fit.
And it's one that offsets the offensive line issues that they've had. I think the issue to a particular tackle that you're bringing in out of the portal is not as big a deal because he's played a lot of football. Get some other guys reps there during the spring.
For
yes,
sure.
you need reps together. I get that. But it could be a little bit of addition by subtraction. And then later this week, we've got West Virginia on the 7th. Alabama starts up on the 8th. I feel like that's an early start for Alabama this year.
It does feel earlier, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. March the 9th, we'll get Oklahoma, Texas, Cincinnati, Houston, Oklahoma State. And then on the 10th, Ohio State, Boston College, and Georgia Tech. So those are kind of this week, early next week starts for spring practice. It's here, folks. Spring ball's here. We already got a couple teams that are in. Nebraska's going.
Yeah.
Been going.
It was the 70s last week, but I don't know what it's like this week.
Did you by chance see what their one of the biggest takeaways was about Nebraska and their spring practice?
Was it
They lost their
Oriola?
scrimmage by 1.
Too soon. What's wrong with you?
I like where you
What?
going.
To an unranked team.
It's a win next year.
Is it win?
No. They moved their practices back to the afternoon
Okay.
because guys are, quote, going to go to bed when they go to bed anyways, so we might as well have them rested.
It is amazing how we get stuck on these stupid things sometimes.
Isn't that amazing? What's better than college football?
You tell me Nebraska doesn't care about school either because all those labs and everything that you guys have in the afternoon.
Don't
just
need labs.
Not worry about that anymore.
Yeah, you get labs out of the way early.
I love it when
Some.
they're like, we practice in the morning because, kids have these class conflicts. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Come on.
They don't. Stop.
Yep,
Stop.
they
it.
cancel
Practice
it.
in the morning because the only conflict you want to worry about is going to bars.
Or online classes.
I can tell you this: if we practiced in the morning, my social life would have been very different at Auburn. Very different.
I didn't have much of a social life during the week.
I didn't either, but it would have been very different.
been
As in bed by 8:30 every night.
I still would have gone to bed at 11 or 12.
That's because you had to study and stuff, man. You had to lock it.
Like,
Can't be a
you
Rhodes
had
Scholar just out
Yeah,
here
that's what I'm
bar
saying.
hopping.
Hey,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
faux show.
God,
The thing is, I was a designated driver most of the time.
Well, that's good.
So I had to go pick up friends and all this stuff. It's like, all right, I'll do that. It gives me something to do.
I can't fathom the morning practices all the time. I mean, we did it in 2-a-days, and it was gross. But to do that every day,
Yeah.
I can't. I pass.
Pass out.
That might have been my first question in recruiting. How much you looking for in NIL? Y'all practice in the morning or afternoon? It's a 6 o'clock start during the week, during
No,
the
it's
season.
gonna
Goodbye,
cost you-
coach.
It's going to cost you $100,000 more, guys.
No, it's going to cost you no chance to land me as a player.
Out. That's a non-starter. You
We can guarantee you starting spot. We can guarantee you $500,000 more. And then I'm not practicing in the morning, coach. You're out.
Kids
Out.
today is soft.
Goodbye.
soft.
Can't
Not
practice
doing
early.
It's
Soft.
taped and ready at 5 o'clock.
Here's the thing.
South.
I have the opportunity to make the decision to either do that or not. I don't care if I'm going to a team that's going to be 500. At least I won't be practicing in the morning. Y'all can have it.
Oh,
Nick Saban practice in the morning? No.
boom.
I don't have to either. We're back tomorrow. 3-man front is coming up next.